I was 11 years old. My best friend Casey was with me. We were the kind of kids who took the stranger danger rules seriously. Our parents had drilled it into us, and we listened. Little did we know that on this particular Halloween night, those rules would be the only thing standing between us and something truly horrifying. We were walking across a small wooden bridge over a narrow river. Locals called it Jack Winkle River. It was a shortcut we'd taken 100 times. Then a black jeep pulled up on the other side of the bridge. It stopped at the far end, completely blocking our path. Casey and I looked at each other. We turned around and walked the other way, fast. Behind us, we heard the jeep's windows rolling down, and then a voice, raspy, rough, like someone who'd been smoking their whole life, yelling for us to come back, saying he needed directions, saying he needed help. I yelled sorry without turning around, and we kept moving. The jeep was too wide to fit over the narrow bridge, so it pulled away and drove down the road on the other side. We thought we were clear. We were wrong. An SUV came barreling around the corner ahead of us. It slammed on its brakes right in front of us. The windows rolled down. There were three of them. An older man with gray curly hair and a thick mustache sat in the back seat. Same raspy voice as before. He leaned out the window and told us to get in the car, said they had free bags of candy for us. We ignored them and kept walking faster now, staying close together. The jeep had doubled back. Now it was behind us, following us. Wherever we walked, the jeep followed. Then the jeep accelerated, cut ahead of us, and stopped. Both the back door and the front passenger door flew open. The two men stepped out, and they lunged toward us. We dropped everything, our candy bags, all of it, and ran. My house was in sight, just ahead. I had never run so hard in my life. We hit the doorbell 20 times, 30 times, screaming. The old men couldn't run fast enough to keep up, and when they saw us at a front door, they turned back. My mom opened the door and we fell inside. I spun around and pointed down the street. The jeep was slowly backing away. My mom shoved us inside and locked the door. She called the police immediately. She gave them every detail: the black jeep, three older men, raspy voices, what they looked like. She was shaking all night, barely able to calm down. My dad tried, but she couldn't stop thinking about one thing. They had seen our house, they knew where we lived now. The police agreed to park an unmarked car outside and keep watch through the night. That helped a little. But what really made us feel better was being woken up by my dad a few hours later. He was grinning. Outside our window, red and blue lights. The unmarked police car had pulled someone over, a black jeep, three men in handcuffs on the side of the road. My dad went out to talk to the officer. Casey and I crept to the doorway and watched. The three men saw us looking. We gave them the finger. My mom immediately pulled us back inside and sent us to bed. It went from the worst night of our lives to the best night of our lives, all in one Halloween. I took my 7-year-old daughter Jamie trick-or-treating that Halloween. It was a good night. We walked the neighborhood for a couple of hours, collected more candy than she could ever eat, came home, cooked dinner together, watched some TV, and I put her to bed. I was exhausted, so I turned in shortly after. I was almost asleep when Jamie padded into my room and told me there was someone in her closet. I told her there wasn't. I told her she was safe. I told her to go back to her room. She went reluctantly. A few minutes later, she was back. This time I sat up. I asked her what made her think someone was in there. She said she'd heard moving around, things falling over. Something in my chest got a little tighter, but I kept my face calm for her. I told her I'd check it out. We walked together to her room. I turned on the lights. I stood in front of the closet door and, jokingly, trying to keep it light for her sake, I said, "Is anybody in there?" We stood and listened. A thud from inside the closet. I screamed at Jamie to run to the neighbors and call the police. The moment she was out of the room, I grabbed the closet door and yanked it open. Sitting on top of my daughter's Lego box was the neighbor's teenage son, Randy. I grabbed him by the collar and dragged him out. I marched him next door. Jamie was already at the door ringing the bell. When Randy's parents answered, I shoved him in and explained exactly what had happened. Randy's father, Mark, looked like he wanted to disappear. He slapped the kid across the face, then asked me to come inside and let Randy explain himself. And that's when it got worse. Randy admitted that while Jamie and I were out trick-or-treating, he had snuck into our house through an open window. He hadn't come alone. He'd brought a friend, a kid named Daryl. I asked Randy where Daryl was. He said he was still in our house. I told Jamie to stay with Mark and ran back home. I pushed through my front door, and there he was, Daryl, standing in the middle of my daughter's bedroom, holding my daughter's underwear in his hand. What I did next I'm not proud of, but every parent in the world will understand it. I grabbed him, I put him on the floor, I made sure he understood in no uncertain terms that what he had done was one of the worst decisions of his life. Then I let him get up and leave. The only reason I didn't call the police that night was because of my friendship with Mark. But I made my position absolutely clear. If either of them ever so much as waved at my daughter again, they would regret it. We went back to sleep eventually. Jamie slept with me that night. The next morning I found something in her closet door that turned my stomach completely, a small drill hole right at eye level. They hadn't just been hiding, they had been watching my daughter through that hole while she slept. There are days, even now, when I think about picking up the phone and calling the police. Maybe I should have done it that night. Maybe I still should. Jamie is 13 now. Randy went off to college. Nothing has happened since. But that image, that drill hole in the door, never really leaves me.